Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh yeah, the key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. Visit championslane.com for updates throughout the season. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. As we get ready for the third Saturday in October, here are some thoughts from the voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart.
Well, that's not the case. This thing is back as traditionally and historically it's been a back and forth series over the years. So I'm very glad that this one is not going anywhere. It's as good as it gets from a history standpoint. The intensity of the rivalry is unmatched. And I'm thrilled that this game is still taking place and will for years to come. And yes, obviously, like every other crimson-blooded Bama fan, I am extremely hopeful that we're lighting them up on Saturday night.
I'll have more in a moment. Tide fans, are you ready for game day in Tuscaloosa? Don't miss the ultimate pregame experience this season at Vector Security Champions Lane. Opening 4 hours before each home game, this fan fest has everything you need to get pumped for kickoff. Located next to the Walk of Champions, you'll enjoy live music, player autographs, the best food trucks from all over Alabama, and ice-cold beer in our Legends Lounge beer garden, where there's never a cover charge. Check out championslane.com each week for the latest updates. Roll Tide! Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile, and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99, and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99, or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
This is your home for Alabama football.
Jam Miller, the running back, will get the handoff. He'll stay on his feet. He'll turn it up. He'll go down the sideline. 10-5, touchdown, Alabama. Jam Miller, icing on the cake.
This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Off and running here on a Tuesday. Got you for a full 2 hours. Yeah, I know. I can't hardly believe it myself either. You're number one. Not that one. You're number one. Of course you're number one.
He's always number one.
He is always number one. He never fiddles with the knobs before the show starts.
Why?
See, you're not helping back there. How are you, Wes?
He signs my check. He can do what he wants.
Yes.
See, I don't have control of that switch.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I can't hear anything till it comes on, and whoever was listening to this was deaf.
That'll be Drew Yarman.
Yeah.
You're in Drew's seat. And by the way, Drew is in a mood this morning.
Yeah, I know. The big thumbprint in the middle of the dump button over here.
That's real right there. By the way, let's see here. Mr. Hardy ran for 52 yards. Got a little bit of grief. Once again, did not start the show yesterday. I can tell you without question, your winner of pick 2 is Philip. Philip, congratulations. You are the winner of pick 2 from Friday. Didn't get, by the way, also in the closet that I need to clean out today, a happy birthday to Jerry Glanville. That's a minus on me.
How did we miss that yesterday?
That's a minus on me more than anything. Maybe that's why he was like prolonging the conversation. He was waiting. He was waiting. He was setting me up to say, Coach, happy birthday tomorrow. Anyway, Coach is 39 years old once again. So happy birthday.
Timeless, ageless.
Timeless.
There is a lot of audio I didn't get a chance to get to yesterday, including, where are you, Steve Sarkisian? This is a question by one of the reporters to Steve Sarkisian.
Hey, Steve, why is Kentucky a dangerous opponent? And do you talk to your guys about how close these games were last week? Tennessee 34-31. Auburn is tied with Georgia until Kirby cheats. He cheated. I'm sorry, guys. He cheated. How much do you delve into that? How close these games are?
They're all
timeout looks like he cheated.
They're all
looking at.
That's this conference. That wasn't the only game. I mean, there was a ton of one-score games in our conference. And
okay, so he does not address the reporter's accusation.
Of course he did. He's not stupid.
No, absolutely not.
He has to play them.
I love how the reporter I don't know who it is, but I'd love to get him on because that was like emphatic. He cheated. He cheated. There's no doubt in my mind he cheated. Of course, we heard from Kirby yesterday saying that he did not cheat. Absolutely not. In fact, he has not even spoken to anybody at the Southeastern Conference office.
Kirby, from the Auburn game, the timeout being waived off thing has become a thing. Have you talked to the SEC about that? And have you watched the film to kind of see that, like, it does appear that you are calling timeout? Did you even not realize you were, or what?
I talked to no one, the SEC office-wise, and I stand by what I talked about after the game. I'm worried about Ole Miss.
I'm clapping wrong.
Yeah, Steve's calling timeout.
Yeah.
It's not that he lied, it's that the truth changed.
That was awful. I just can't believe the conference not do anything. I think that's pathetic.
The more we go down this rabbit hole since Saturday, I'm in agreement with you. He was on the field. I know he was explaining his case, but he was on the field And I think it wasn't this spring, but it was the spring before when John McDade told us that if coaches are on the field, that's a penalty.
Oh, I don't want to see them throwing 15-yard penalties because the coach is on the field to change the game, but it should have been just this easy. Delay a game, 5 yards.
Minimum.
Stores.
Yeah. Minimum.
Well, if he didn't call timeouts, delay a game.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. Okay? You don't get the timeout, then good. Delay a game. I just can't believe they put the ball back and started the clock over.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he have on
reset
that guy?
it.
Yeah.
Got to reset it.
That was, I mean, obviously somebody need to help that official. I mean, there were some bad calls against Georgia too. I mean, that not targeting, but what was it? A blindside block with a guy who was a back hitting the linebacker on a running play to that side. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah,
that was a big call in the game as well. They, I hate that crew. I talk about them all the time.
Yeah,
I hope
that's the same crew from the Georgia-Texas game a year ago.
Yeah, it's the same crew from the Alabama-Tennessee game a year ago.
It was
as well. They were just I mean, they didn't know what in that game. They didn't know what interference was. I mean, interference for Tennessee was different than interference for Alabama, and that, you can't play a game like that. And they're just so inconsistent every game. So
it's a problem.
100%.
I did get a message back from Steve Shaw today. I am stuck on calls, to which I said, I bet you are. So Steve Shaw is unavailable to be on the program here this evening, but I will.
Well, he's the national. He used to be the SEC. Now he's the national.
Yeah.
So
injury report for Georgia folks out there. Bowens, number 33 on offense. He has a leg injury coming off of that Auburn game.
Yeah, he was, it was a deal going to the game. We felt like he was going to be able to go. It bothered him some, but it bothered him some last week, but it never got to the point that he wasn't going to be able to play. But he wasn't as effective probably early. We weren't as effective. I don't know if it was him. But we struggled to run the ball a little bit early, and then when those other guys got going, we went with those guys. But he should be fine. He should be ready to go this week.
A tough test in Ole Miss coming up on Saturday afternoon.
See, I think this is when we're going to really find out how good Ole Miss or not, what they are. Going on the road for the first time really this year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they do.
All right, on the
I don't know how. I think they're a good team. I do not think they're even close to being a great team.
Georgia.
I think they're no. Talking about Ole Miss.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Ole Miss, but
well, I don't think Georgia's a great team either. I mean, really,
Kirby begs to differ. Where did I put that? That did get brought up yesterday where a reporter just blanketly asked him, you think you got a good team? And
I said they're not a great team.
Kirby, halfway through the regular season, do you think Georgia is in the upper tier of SEC teams in a league that seems to have more parity?
Absolutely.
Can you kind of
I don't evaluate because I only evaluate the teams we play. So I think we got a really good football team, and I think it shows every Saturday we go out and compete. I don't study the film of the ones we don't play, although most people you don't play, you get on crossover games. But I'm not in the process of evaluating. I'm evaluating us and Ole Miss right now.
Getting into the injury side of things.
Timeout.
You want to call it time?
I was clapping.
Just call it timeout.
Yeah,
timeout. Let's dive more into the injury side of things as we bring in our. Do I need to call you Mickey now, or
he's got all my money?
Yeah. Gotcha. Nathaniel, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Doing real well. Make sure everybody can hear you properly. Concussions is probably the biggest story that came out of the Alabama-Missouri game. So let's dive into. We all talk about concussion protocol, but let's get into concussion protocol.
Right, and as we talked before, those were two pretty nasty hits. I think we all saw that. Very concerned for the athletes out there, and as they're playing. So this week will be crucial as they kind of enter the rehab protocols and they return to protocols for concussion management. All the sports organizations are using a form of the consensus statement from the 2023 Amsterdam conference. And basically what it does is it kind of rewrites the protocol for this in a little bit more inclusive protocol to really kind of dive in and get these guys what they need. So me and you kind of talked about it before, where the old protocol was, we're going to put you in a dark room, make sure you feel, better. Come on out.
I thought it was how many fingers. You say 2. I got 4 held up. You got 2. 3. 4. You got it. You're ready to play. You're good to go.
So as it's evolved on that, it's exactly right. But as it's evolved in the research that we've gotten, and a lot of that comes from some of the research up at Boston, but it's a lot more approach to my part of it, the physical therapy aspect of it, looking at manual therapy for upper spine stuff, for headaches and dizziness that may be prolonged with this concussion. We have specialized training in dizziness and balance deficits that come along with some of these prolonged concussion stuff. So we have a lot of testing criteria that a lot of these universities are using as their baseline at the first of the season. And we're comparing that as the athlete or as the patient is progressing through this protocol, using all kinds of different modalities, techniques, graded exercise programs, and relying on our communication with the sports medicine staff, the physician, to return these athletes to play in a safe manner.
So don't they get a baseline? What is that now? When they say baseline, what does that mean?
So a couple of tools that they're using is the SCAT-6, which is a symptom checker that they're doing. The VOMS, which is a vestibular ocular motor screen. They're doing that for vision stuff, tracking reaction time.
So they can tell by your eyes?
Right.
That's what you're saying,
yeah.
basically?
So the primary component of that for the vestibular system, or the inner ear system, is impacted by some of these concussive type symptoms, and it affects your way of how you can gaze stabilize. Can you fix your eyes on something without, imparting dizziness or movement? And we have those baselines. And as we go through the rehab protocol, we can compare you back, and we want to get you back to baseline or better before we return you to play.
Don't they have a mouthpiece that was in their helmet, or there's a mouthpiece, a sensor?
That I'm not sure on that
they check on the players.
I know there is a sensor in the mouthpiece.
Yeah, Connor had something. He got a concussion one time, but all he could say one word you can't say on the radio. That's all he was saying.
That sounds like Connor.
Yeah, that was it was because
he
got kneed in the back of the head. On a freak deal. But yeah, that was.
He's a neighbor.
He was scary. I mean, it was scary.
Yeah,
for him,
yeah.
I think the big thing is changing some of the terminologies to it as well. As I was telling Steve before, kind of going away from that. You had a mild concussion, or you had a moderate concussion, or you had a severe concussion based on loss of consciousness or other type of symptoms. Now they're trying to approach it as, how do you respond? What is your symptoms throughout the week? Does the symptoms last longer than 10 days? Which may mean more of a moderate type of concussion symptom. So you can be, look like a pretty significant concussion, but you respond well. Your symptoms are lessened. You go through the protocol with no setbacks, and you're able to return to play. Or you can have what we deemed a mild hit, but your symptoms continue, and that may put you more towards a moderate type concussion. So they're kind of going away with these arbitrary classifications of these systems.
So what do you have? How do they tell that you're okay? Connor actually played the next week.
So the graded criteria is like you go back through, and it's laid out where you start off with very light activity, and you go 24 hours from resolution of symptoms there. Start out with light activity, then you kind of get into some sport specific drills, and each day you have to track your symptoms, because if you have symptoms again, you got to go back.
So what would be the symptoms? Headaches?
Headaches, dizziness, loss of focus. So we even have a return to learn protocol with these guys, sending them back to class. If they're having a tough time concentrating, that would deem them, okay, we got to set you back, pull back a little bit, and not progress you through the protocol. And then each step you have to be able to complete and be symptom free.
I think the most extreme case, at least that we have seen in recent years, is Tua lying on the field with the fingers, and I was I assume that is
totally out.
I assume that's the like one of the more severe cases that we all saw.
Right.
Is that,
and especially with what you saw was that posturing of his hand. Those are the ones that you need to make sure, and they're doing all the testing, especially there. A head CT or a head MRI, they need to look at that because, does that go into something that's more traumatic, like a brain bleed or something like that may be more traumatic.
Wow. Wow. It sounds like concussion protocol has come a long way.
It has. And in our world for physical therapy, it's come a long ways with us, some of the athletic trainers and some of the sports med docs using us for our expertise in manual therapy, graded exercise progression, things like that to help integrate into their return to play protocols, which is something even when I was an athletic trainer, 15 years ago, we didn't really utilize physical therapists that much in our concussion management.
So what's the shortest period of time they can get back to hitting?
So
if it was a
best case scenario,
I guess it depends on if they had a concussion before or not. Does having a concussion make you
I'm going to let you hang out there on that island.
Thank you. Yeah. Susceptible to having another one.
You are. And so it does increase your risk, and especially if you're still symptomatic. And so your question was, what is the shortest time frame of that? There's 6 steps that go up to that. And if you hit each one of those, theoretically, you could play the next week on that. If, that means everything's got to be perfect, symptom free. You hit all of your metrics and your targets of, they want you to have like a full contact practice, which is always hard in college because they're not doing full contact on Friday, so
they do no contact on Friday.
Right. So, that's always the hardest part is when you get these guys right up to that, they want them to have a simulated series with contact before they send it back out.
Right. And I would think a running back would be because you're going to get hit every time.
Well, if someone it's their first go around in it is 72 hours. I mean, how quick of a turnaround could there be?
I mean, like I told him, I think the quickest turnaround, if you go by off the guidelines, to get them through their full protocol, it's going to be at about a week.
Yeah, I would think Jam Miller would be maybe.
Yeah, but Meadows.
But Meadows, he was down a long time.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah, he was. And it'll just depend on because the guys down there, they'll put them through all of their testing and rehab and be doing a lot of assessment, and then they'll probably have a clearance from a neurologist there as well that they send to.
Yeah, and if it's their third concussion, they take it away. It's the university brings in separate doctors to go through protocol. And that's why Swamp Monster was down so long.
That's right.
And he actually played a lot and played well the second half.
He did.
So,
he did.
Yeah,
Jen Roberts.
Yeah.
For those that don't speak Swamp Monster.
Yeah. Gino was didn't have his best game for sure.
Yeah.
And if you notice, nobody on the offensive line, usually they have a player of the game. They didn't last week.
Yeah.
And I hear there are pretty intense practices going on in Tuscaloosa right now. I mean, to me, when's their next off week? After
South Carolina next week.
Okay, yeah.
Then it's a bye before LSU.
Right. So, yeah.
Death, taxes, and a bye before LSU.
Yeah. Not for one more year, and that's it, right? Or even is it next year it changes?
Well, has it already been set? I'll look it up. But
they announced all the games already.
Oh no, I know they announced all the games. I don't know if they announced the schedules. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So you're right. They did announce the games, but anyway, glad Mickey didn't get the best of you last week, there, partner.
Yeah, I'm surprised you survived.
I survived.
As best you could.
That's exactly. Great trip. So, we survived.
Well, tell people how to get in touch with you.
So we have local offices here in Huntsville, everything from Madison down to Aniana. our any of our locations are posted on the web. Feel free to give us a call for any kind of direct access. I talked about it two sessions ago, or if you have a prescription from your doctor, look us up.
Johnson Hayes,
Johnson and Hayes.
did a great job. Got me up and running around again.
Yep, JohnsonandHayes.com. And listen, you may be walking around with a concussion and not know it, and if you have prolonged headaches, so if there is something that's not right, you need to get it checked out. Johnson and Hayes will do so.
Yeah. And I feel like that's people don't really think about that. They think of, the sports concussions and stuff like that, but we treat a lot of patients who are, post motor vehicle accidents, post falls that have these lingering effects, and they don't really know that physical therapy can be an integral part to their recovery. So
getting your balance back, big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Jimmy Hyams is on deck. That's right. It's the third Saturday in October. So we'll talk a little third Saturday in October with Jimmy.
I remember we talked to Jimmy before the season. He wasn't too high on him. I bet that's changed.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than zero down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $499 a month. A new F-150 for less than $500 a month. Or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $399 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $499 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $399 a month. And remember, these leases are zero down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. These are 36-month leases with zero down, just your first payment due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. Offer ends October 31st. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
John Abraham here with Bobcat of Huntsville. Men, the season is upon us. This is what all the playbooks have prepared us for. But here, there's no need for a 3-4 defense because we're not talking about the football season. We're talking about the get-done season. Starting August 13th, Bobcat of Huntsville will have a full line of steel products for you to throw at those jobs you've been putting off until now. So put away those fantasy draft notes and pick up the tool you've been waiting for because it's time to get it done. Bobcat of Huntsville, run off a Highway 20 in Madison.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
I have yet to look up to see whether or not the line has changed at all as we welcome you back in. Running a tad tardy for our next guest, and that is completely on me as we went through our injury report. So I should have told you 5:25, not 5:15, Jimmy Hyams. That's clearly on me. That's another minus on me. How are you, Jimmy?
You're building up, Jimmy.
I am.
I'm doing great, guys. How are y'all doing?
Doing real well. It is that time of the year. And I tell you, especially us talking in the spring and even in through the fall, the Vols look a lot better than I thought they were going to look. How about you?
It depends on which side of the ball you're talking about. They are
Defense.
better on offense.
Yeah.
They are worse on defense than I thought they would be. Their record is where I thought it would be at this point.
Okay.
I'm one of the. There was a debate up here. A lot of people had them at 9-3. I was at 8-4. I may end up being wrong. I had them losing to Alabama, Oklahoma, and at Florida. So we'll see what transpires. But it's I give them a lot of credit for being where they are right now, because this is a team that has found a way to win a couple of close games.
Yeah.
And a year ago, this team would have lost at Mississippi State on the road. And then they ended up pulling out the Arkansas game. It ended up being closer at the end, maybe than it should have been. Although Bobby Petrino made a stupid decision when he bypassed the 42-yard field goal in the third quarter. And he admitted later he made a mistake. But I think Tennessee's a really good football team. I think they're a college football playoff contender. But I am not ready to crown them and say they are a favorite to make the college football playoff, because their defense isn't very good.
Wow. That they have. I've only seen highlights of the Arkansas game because I was down on the plains this past weekend. I've not seen every snap of that Arkansas-Tennessee game, but at least affecting the quarterback, at least heading into that Arkansas game, I thought they did a decent job of that, of at least getting into passing lanes and making the quarterback feel uncomfortable.
It's interesting. I have described their defense as that was good, yeah, but. So it was good that you sacked Taylor Grieve 5 times. Yeah, but he escaped the pocket 6 or 8 times, and they had like 8 20-yard plays in the game. It was good that you forced 3 turnovers. Yeah, but you gave up 496 yards of offense to Arkansas. So this is almost a feast or famine defense. They score a defensive touchdown, they make a sack. They'll do something really good, and yet you turn around and they're giving up 496 yards to Arkansas. They are giving up about, I think it's 212 rushing yards per game in SEC games. That's a lot.
Wow.
198 Georgia, 198 Mississippi State, 240 Arkansas. And that includes the sack numbers that are taken away from the rushing yards. If you take out the sack yardage, then it's closer to 240 rushing yards a game by those opponents. Or maybe 230, somewhere in there.
Wow.
So it's just, they're feast or famine. It's just amazing to see them make a huge play and yet give up tons of yardage. As in Joshua Joseph, the defensive end, said, we are not playing to our standard. Yes, we're winning games, and yes, we're having sacks and we're creating turnovers, but we're giving up way too many yards. And while he didn't say it, he intimated, you keep doing that, and that's going to end up biting you.
And now this matchup where Tennessee now has won 2 out of the last 3, although Alabama is playing awfully efficiently on offense. But tell me how you think this matchup is going to go come Saturday night.
I think it's going to be really interesting. I think there is a pretty good chance you're going to have to get into the 30s to win this game.
Yeah.
Now, I've had a long-standing theory, and we'll see how this holds up. I've contended that it's very difficult for a team to get up 3 weeks in a row. And so that third week of getting up in a row was Alabama and Missouri. Now they got to get up for a 4th week in a row.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can do it. It's hard to do it unless you're just a great football team. Tennessee's not in that position. They had an open date, and then they had Arkansas. So they mentally should be, I would say, more rested than Alabama. I love Ty Simpson. I think he is a terrific quarterback. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's got a couple of outstanding receivers. You guys may know this. If Jam Miller doesn't play, I think that has a significant impact on Alabama's offense because he is, in my opinion, clearly their best running back. So if he's still in concussion protocol and can't play, that's going to have an impact. I do think Tennessee's offense is good enough to go to Tuscaloosa and get at least 3 touchdowns. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Tennessee hasn't won there since 2003, right?
That's right.
So there's been a long drought.
Yeah.
As far as Tennessee's ability to win in Tuscaloosa.
Well, there is definitely, as much as you underlined Tennessee's defense, Alabama's defense is kind of hot and cold as well. A little bit to me. Second half,
they played really well. Every game but the first one.
Yeah,
I think they've only allowed 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that how do you explain that? Is that adjustments being made?
I think it's somewhat adjustments. And seeing, a lot of young players playing.
A lot of young players.
And when you have young players, when the team first comes out, they're going to make, they're going to see stuff on film. Every team sees different things, going to run plays that they think are going to work, and they usually do. And then once they get adjusted, they've played very well, especially with all the injuries they've had. Alabama's had a lot of injuries, and the young players have come in and played well.
Well, and that's I think the injuries have had a pretty negative impact on Tennessee's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Wes, now going in, and there were some people, and I disagree with them, that said, this Tennessee defense could be better than it was a year ago. No, it couldn't. They lost a first-round draft pick on the defensive line, a second-round draft pick on the defensive line. They lost an All-American cornerback in Javon McCoy, who still hasn't played. And then before the first game, 2 starting defensive tackles were out, and another cornerback was out. You can't lose that kind of talent and be better than you were the year before. Now, having said that, while I didn't think the defense would be as good, it's been worse than I thought. The yards they're giving up are alarming. And I do think injuries are a part of that. Now, they've got both starting defensive tackles back. They still don't have their starting cornerback back. And I think that's been a bit of an issue. So I would say Tennessee probably has not been able to overcome their injuries on defense as well as Alabama has.
Is that Ricky Gibson in particular? Is he out for the what is the prognosis of Ricky Gibson?
Many believe that Ricky Gibson is out for the year.
Okay.
Ahmad McCoy, there's some interesting buzz about him. He returned to practice the first week of August, but he was limited. Now there's some scuttlebutt, and this is speculation, so I'm not really reporting. I don't know this to be true, but there are some people that are mumbling that McCoy's agent doesn't want him to play because he's afraid that he might put up some bad tape and affect his draft status. Okay.
The world we're living in. Wow.
And that's the truth. Now, if that's true. So, and do you want your first game back to be against Ty Simpson versus Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams?
What player doesn't want to play in a big game? Would be my answer.
But that would be the agent.
Yeah.
So
silly me.
Here's the other part. Here's why I disagree with that also. NFL scouts should be smart enough to know that the guy's coming off an injury. So if they have concerns about his tape, look at what he did in 2024.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. And you've also got a combine and other workouts to go through. So that's just some scuttlebutt here. Again, I don't know that that's 100% true, but my opinion is that McCoy will not play against Alabama.
So what's your final score?
Oh goodness, Alabama I've got Alabama in that. I'll say 35-28. That's the range. I think there'll be some points put on the board because I think both defenses are a little bit vulnerable, and I do think Tennessee's offense is really good, and in particular when they go tempo. And Aguilar's been a lot better than I thought he would be. The receivers have been better than I thought they would be. So I do think Tennessee has a real solid offense. But I also think Alabama's going to, at times, have their way. It was funny with Tennessee against Arkansas. Tennessee had 4 defensive possessions in the third quarter where they shut Arkansas down. But they didn't shut them down in the first half or the fourth quarter. So they've had moments where they played well, but they have not consistently been good. And what's the weakest part of Tennessee's defense? Pass defense. What's the strength of Alabama's offense?
Oh, yeah.
Pass offense.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good matchup for Tennessee.
So, but Arkansas is better than people think they are.
Yeah.
They just have lost a lot of close games. I mean,
Ole Miss game, they were really close.
Ole Miss and Memphis, they fumble the ball.
Yeah.
Or they're going to win that. All they got to do is kick a field goal. And
Notre Dame is the only game where they were just outclassed, where they just
100%. Yeah.
And I think that was a hangover from that Memphis loss. Wes, you pointed it out. They're inside the 15-yard line, maybe inside the 10 when they fumble. And they're going to kick a game-winning field goal. Against Ole Miss, they're driving for a game-winning touchdown, and the receiver fumbles inside the 25.
Right, yeah. So it was actually a good play by Ole Miss safety.
Wins.
But, but they had they've been in every game but the Notre Dame game, which they totally just blew. They could have kicked the field goal the play before. Why are they running the ball like that? It doesn't make sense. Most of these games are lost. These close games are lost. You go back, look at Missouri getting stupid penalties, taunting penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that and win these games. And Alabama people know that. That's how we lost the Tennessee game last year. Stupid penalties.
That's right. And Missouri had a stupid one after stopping Alabama on the first drive.
Yeah, 100%.
The taunting penalty.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
It's just the way you get beat.
All right. Well, I felt like we have chronicled Boo quite a bit here on the program. I don't know. There is just something in me thinking there is some kind of package we have not seen so far this year that's going to involve Boo on the offense.
Well, you're right. We haven't seen it. I've been clamoring for that for about 6 weeks. To me, now I'll say this: Tennessee isn't doing this nearly as much as they used to. They used to throw a lot of these flanker screens, just throw it 25 yards sideways and let a guy catch it and hope somebody can get a block and hope the guy can break a tackle. Boo Carter's ideal for that. But Tennessee's not running that. They've hardly ever run that play. They're throwing it downfield. They're throwing more slants. They'll throw some underneath stuff, but it's not those bubble screens like they were doing.
They must have heard Jerry
and they'll
Gravely.
throw it deep. Yeah. So this offense looks a little bit different than it has. They don't spread the field sideline to sideline 53 yards.
Why do you think? Why is that?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know the reason for that. I think they decided, and by the way, one of the reasons they did that was to get favorable numbers in the box to run the football.
Yeah.
I think the reason they are doing that, this is a guess on my part, is that Aguilar probably doesn't like having his receivers spread out 30 yards from where he's lined up. So they brought him in, and they're running more inside. They're throwing the ball more over the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're spreading the receivers out that far, it's hard to throw it over the middle, right?
Yeah.
But they're bringing them in tighter, and they're throwing more inside. They're throwing more over the middle. They're throwing more slants. They're throwing more post routes. That's something that they were scared to do with Nico because they were worried about his accuracy, and they were scared to do it with Joe Moulton because they were worried about his accuracy. They were worried about interceptions. And so now with Aguilar, they brought the receivers in tighter, and they're throwing the ball more over the middle. So, Wes, that's the best explanation I can give you.
I heard something on the Monday press conference about Deshaun Bishop. So how banged up is he heading into this game?
Well, that's going to be interesting. It's really hard to get any information on injuries out of Tennessee. I'll go. You cover a Tennessee game, and all of a sudden they'll announce 3 players are out for the game. It's like I had no idea the guy was hurt. So now Bishop was interesting. They have indicated, well, at least Heupel said this post game that there was a hip injury. Now, how quickly can he recover from a hip injury? How severe is it? I mean, a hip injury could end somebody's playing career, right, Bo Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't think it's nearly that severe. And Heupel indicated it is not going to be long term. Okay, what does long term mean? 3 days or 3 weeks? I don't know. So they're really vague about that. I'll say this though: Bishop has really stepped up, and he has surprised me. He is their best running back.
Yeah.
There was a time when I thought it was Star Thomas, but Bishop had a great game against Arkansas. He scored that game-winning touchdown against Mississippi. This is a former walk-on from Knoxville that has developed into a really nice SEC running back.
Wow. I did not realize that. And Star is the transfer from Duke, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. He led his junior college team in rushing. Then he led New Mexico State in rushing. Then he led Duke in rushing. And I thought, heck, he might lead Tennessee in rushing. Well, I don't think that anymore. I think Bishop is going to, unless Bishop's hurt.
Yeah.
But Star Thomas is a quality back. And Tennessee's third team back is a pretty good back, too. Peyton Lewis, he's a nice running back as well. So Tennessee goes 3 deep at running back. I don't think they have a great running back, but I think they have 3 SEC caliber running backs.
And that, I mean, if they are able to run between the tackles, that is very significant because maybe Tennessee's best defense will be their offense. Yeah,
if they can keep the ball. Now, the flip side of that, their best offense is when they go tempo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which means their 7-play, 80-yard drive will take less than 2 minutes a lot of times. So, and now a year ago, because Tennessee's defense was so good, Josh Heupel protected the defense by not going fast on offense.
Yeah.
And so they played some low-scoring games. Well, the defense isn't any good this year. And so I think you got to be more of a, well, we better outscore you philosophy, because you may try to protect your defense. It doesn't do any good because the defense is going to give up a lot of yards and a lot of points. So I think you're more in a mode of you better run up that scoreboard because your defense is going to get lit up. So you better be able to outscore opponents.
At least during this particular win streak for Alabama, they are limiting the mistakes and making you have to play a perfect game. And that is, it's obviously working. And Ty is as efficient as, I mean, he is performing awfully well, but just limiting the penalties, I don't think has been addressed enough of this winning streak in particular, be it road wins at Missouri and Georgia, but they've cleaned up quite a bit in Tuscaloosa. I think Tennessee's got a shot in this.
Course,
I really do.
I do too.
But they can't beat themselves.
So does Simpson have 16 touchdown passes and 1 pick? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tennessee has not curbed its penalties. Tennessee is one of the most penalized teams in the SEC, and Tennessee has been one of the most penalized teams in the league since Josh Heupel got here. I don't know why that is the case. Some people say it's the tempo offense, but not every penalty is a legal procedure.
Yeah.
They get pass interference, they get holding, they have a lot of other penalties. They had 10 penalties against Arkansas. You know how many Arkansas had? 1.
Wow.
And so Josh Heupel after the game said, boy, that's a 1 to 10 difference in penalties. That can change a game. We have to play smarter. And then he snickered. But the point is, you still had 10 penalties.
Yeah.
And so Tennessee averages about 7 penalties a game. They average about 70 yards in penalties a game. They do not play a clean game when it comes to penalties. They just don't.
Well,
and so
when you don't have a pass rush, the defensive backs are going to hold 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do have a pass rush.
Then,
that's the funny thing about it. I think they lead the SEC, if not the nation. They got 26 sacks. 26. They average 4.3
how
sacks
can they have a bad defense then?
Because
Can't stop
they
the
keep
run?
giving up 20 and 30-yard plays.
Oh, well, yeah,
so
that'll do it.
If they don't sack the quarterback, he's making a 30-yard pass.
That's why on the teleconference, I this past Wednesday, Coach Heupel and I have, he always enjoys our question and answer, but I brought up affecting the quarterback, and it's maybe the second or third time, and I could hear it in his voice of like, I understand why you're asking me, but I'm going to tell you the same thing.
Well, it is kind of, that's why I gave you the yeah, but answer earlier.
Yeah.
They got 26 sacks. Yeah, but they give up 257 yards passing a game. So it's they've got 4 defensive touchdowns. They force more fumbles than anybody in the league, but they give up over 200 rushing yards a game in conference play. So it's kind of hard to figure. It's feast or famine with this defense. And so if Alabama can play a clean game, I don't see much of a chance to win it.
And so do you, I did look it up. The point spread is down to, let's see here. 2 books have it at 7.5 right now. Alabama 7.5.
Well, the score I just gave you would indicate I would take Tennessee by half a point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I picked Alabama by 7. And again, I think it'll be relatively high scoring. What did I say, 35-28?
That's right.
So
yeah.
I could see some points in this game, and I think Tennessee will have some success offensively on at least 4 drives. But I just don't think Tennessee consistently can stop Alabama. Because, Wes, those numbers are perplexing, right? You lead the league in sacks, but you lead it in giving up passing yards. You can't stop the run, but you force all these fumbles. You know, it's kind of weird watching this team. I don't remember seeing many defenses that are quite like this one at Tennessee.
Well, they've made a lot of big plays when they've had to, though.
That's right.
And you know, and not for a missed field goal, they'd be undefeated. So this is a good team.
That's right.
I like the way they fight. I like the way they don't ever give up. They've had some bad stuff go against them. It doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
I think this is a great coaching job.
Maybe like
done by one of the best coaches in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
We had a discussion after the Mississippi State win, and Mississippi State is certainly much better than a year ago. But the discussion was, do you feel better or worse about Tennessee when they won a close game in Starkville? And I said, I feel better. And the guy's like, well, how can you feel better? Look at the yards they gave up. Look at this and that. I said, they found a way to win on the road in the SEC. That's the game they'd have lost a year ago. So that's what I like about this team. They are resourceful. They figure out a way to win. And they're not great. They've got flaws. A lot of teams in this league have flaws. But I like the team that's got enough grit to find a way to win. And so that's why I felt better about Tennessee after beating Mississippi State.
You guys talking right there made me think of maybe the polar opposite. And that's the Auburn Tigers, of a team that when something bad happens, as you mentioned.
Yeah, their offense is.
Well, I realize
Auburn's
that. No,
horrible.
yeah.
They haven't peed a drop in the fourth quarter. Can you say that?
You just did.
Yeah,
We're
haven't.
good.
They haven't. Their offense is horrible, especially in the fourth quarter.
And I'll say this,
but they're going to beat somebody. Watch what I tell you. They'll beat somebody.
I got Missouri this week.
They've not been the beneficiary of officiating.
No, this is true.
They've had some tough breaks along the way. If they go up 21-0, wouldn't that be right? 21-0.
It would have been 17-0.
It would have been 17-0.
They go up 17-0 on Georgia. I think that's a different game. If Oklahoma doesn't run that lonesome end play, which is illegal, maybe Auburn wins that game at Oklahoma.
You got to score, but you got to score. I mean,
you're right.
They had the ball. They had the ball twice and went backwards both times. I mean, gave up a safety. The fourth quarter, their offense has been horrendous. They had 15 yards.
Yeah, 15 before that final drive.
Before the final drive, when they're down by 10,
they ended up with 40 yards in the second half.
In the second half,
yeah.
Right.
You can't beat anybody doing that.
I don't know if y'all felt this way. I watched Jackson Arnold play at Oklahoma, and I didn't like him, and they benched him.
Yeah.
And that's your answer at Auburn?
Yeah, I don't get so. Listen, he's played well at times. He has. But he in the fourth quarter, when you have to make plays, he hadn't been able to do it. And I was shocked when they spent money on him. They had a bunch of they've put a pretty good team together down there. Defensively, they might be the best defense in the conference. They're really good defensively.
Absolutely.
And they're playing a lot of freshmen as well. And the head coach is the head of the offense, and I thought he did a good job the first half, but then he tried to run the same plays against Georgia the second half. On the first play, they just flipped it and ran it to the wide receiver to the right, and you can't do that against Kirby. You need to fake that and throw something off of it. You got to have you have to. You can't run the plays over and over. It doesn't work against Georgia.
In my opinion, you have a quarterback that's a good runner, but an erratic, inconsistent passer that you cannot count on in the big moments.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is timing.
And a lot of it's the offensive line as well, Jimmy. A lot of the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, the second half played horrible. And to me, if they continue to get better, they'll be a bugaboo. Once they win a big game and if they win a conference game, they'll be a booger bear. But listen, I think Missouri is more physical than Georgia.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
I like Missouri's team. I think they're really good. I don't bet, but I like to play around with it. I saw Alabama favored by 3.5, and I took Missouri and barely scraped by on that. I think Missouri can win 10 games again.
Yeah.
I think that guy's done a heck of a job.
Yeah.
And they got a quarterback from Penn. I bet Penn State wishes they had that quarterback back.
You think?
Yeah. How about this? Haven't we had like 6 coaches fired already?
8.
8?
8.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, already. UAB is looking for a coach. So
who is?
UAB.
Oh, yeah,
hey, I might coach Granville. What's the buyout?
Well, it's Penn State is $49 million.
That'll get you a couple of.
My gosh. and now you're turning around and you got to pay your revenue shares $20.5 million to your players. Where are they getting all this money?
Well, they're the people that are paying $700 million for the redo of the stadium.
Yeah,
I think wanted him fired. Is what I was told by a Penn State guy. So, yeah.
Well, maybe they'll only do $650 of renovation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Kick in their portion, Jimmy.
We can't finish those stands.
No.
We got to pay Franklin.
That's right. Call them the Franklin stands. All right. Right. Jimmy, always appreciate the time, sir.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Steve. Thanks, Wes. I'll have a great night.
The Franklin stand.
Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than zero down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $499 a month. A new F-150 for less than $500 a month. Or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $399 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $499 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $399 a month. And remember, these leases are zero down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. These are 36-month leases with zero down, just your first payment due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. Offer ends October 31st. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
TalentHVAC.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor or leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperature climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s, dropping into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight. Fantastic weather once again for your Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures climbing into the low 80s and then dropping into the mid 50s overnight. We're going to repeat this as we head into your Thursday. Next opportunity for rain moves in Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Well, the boys are taking their time to get back on the air. I want to tell you about these big zone deals at 977ESPN.com. Savings never tasted so good. You can get your deals on great food.
You want to say what you had this afternoon?
We had Full Moon Barbecue this afternoon.
There you go.
Courtesy of our own Steve Moulton. Used some coupons from Big Zone Deals.
That's right.
Brisket. Oh, look at the brisket.
Delicious.
Absolutely fantastic. You can double your money. One other station gives you a chance to double your money with Big Zone Deals. 977ESPN.com.
On the subject of our zone deals, coming up on Thursday, in fact, I think it might already be in the store, Sea Salt. It is. We're going to be there tomorrow. Parked out there. What is that, Washington or Clinton? I want to say it's Clinton.
LSU Lunch needs to come by and blast you guys like
Yeah.
Scott and
So
West the other day.
Yeah, the last time we were there, Scott filled in for me. But I'll be there front and center tomorrow. And that ought to be a lot of fun. Carrabba's Italian Grill, we were there yesterday. That is on Big Zone Deals today. It wasn't there yesterday, but it's there today.
Thank you, Tom.
Bubby's Diner, always a winner, as is Corlejos Mexican Grill. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. Full Moon Barbecue, as we've well chronicled. Cheeseburger Bobby's is back, baby.
Heck yeah.
Good Company Cafe. Bigfoot Little Donuts. From what I understand, there's only like 4 of them left for Bigfoot Little Donuts. Jefferson's, the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, and Dreamland Barbecue are all waiting on you to save money. It's just, I mean, if you're looking to save money when you're going out to eat, we got you covered.
Nobody loves you like we do.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The National League Championship Series resumes tonight for the Dodgers and Brewers. Coverage bottom of the hour on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Thanks in part to a brilliant start by Blake Snell in the opener. LA's got a 1-0 lead. But that bullpen shaky last night. It continues to be a concern for the defending World Series champs, points out ESPN MLB analyst Doug Glanville.
Well, they have the talent, right? You know, the guys that have had experience, success, lefties, righties. It doesn't seem to be the issue. They just seem like they're not really executing from like pitch one. And, you know, it certainly is an issue against the Brewers, especially on the road. It's a comeback team that works walks, that's going to run the bases.
Yoshi Yamamoto starts Game 2 tonight for the Dodgers against the Brewers' Freddie Peralta. Blue Jays righty Max Scherzer will make his postseason debut when he starts Game 4 of the ALCS against the Mariners Thursday. NBA, Mavericks sign coach Jason Kidd to a multi-year extension. Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo told Ant One's The Tonight Show he'd like to end his career playing in Greece after his retirement from the NBA. The 30-year-old is set to begin his 13th season with Milwaukee next week. Said he can play in the NBA until he's 36 to 38. As soon as he leaves the league, he wants to return to Greece. NFL Bears receiver DJ Moore back in Chicago after spending the night in a Washington, D.C. area hospital where he was evaluated for a groin injury, according to Coach Ben Johnson. Johnson declined to provide more details about the injury, said Moore's day-day. NHL Senators captain Brady Tkachuk out at least 4 weeks with a right wrist injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Wednesday with Baker Mayfield having success in his fourth stop. I'll tell you which other QBs need a change of scenery if they actually want to succeed. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Tonight, we are walking you up to Major League Baseball. And, boy, what a gem pitched last night by Blake Snell. He was, from what I read from the MLB press box notes, the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to face the minimum through 8 innings of any postseason game. Locked in was Snell. And then you got Game 2 coming up tonight. First pitch, 7:08. That's on TBS, at least over on television or however you're streaming it. But you can hear it right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. And so a chance for you to react. I had people calling me this afternoon about being down at Auburn and what I saw. I mean, this is turning into just a whole other deal and the Southeastern Conference has not said a peep about this.
Well,
but Hugh Freeze,
that play.
Yes.
all Hugh Freeze has done, well, first of all, Hugh Freeze has gotten where he's at because he beat Nick Saban in 2 fluke games, and that's why he's hired at Auburn. But he complains and blames. He threw Peyton Thorne under the bus how many times last year? He is a complainer, and that last drive when Georgia just took 17 plays, they were wore out.
Yeah.
And Georgia just took it to him. But he is weak mentally as a coach, complains, and that team on offense plays just like he coaches. Am I right?
Yeah. So, when you watch Auburn play, the offensive line is very inconsistent, and they don't pass block very well.
Yep.
And then the quarterback doesn't throw on time, and that's a very, very bad combination. So basically, you get them, you play to get them in run situations, and you make the quarterback throw the ball, and he can't do it. I mean, he just can't.
Right.
And,
he is known.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what's happened. I mean, I've had people a lot smarter than me look at the tape, and they say the Auburn offense is awful. That's what they say.
I mean, but look, he's supposed to be an offensive genius. I mean, you go back and look at the 2 times he beat Alabama. Bo Wallace bounced one off 3 Alabama helmets on 1 touchdown. We turned it over 5 times and still had the ball with a chance to win in the end.
Yeah.
And then the play in Oxford.
The big thing in both those games is Alabama fumbled the 4 kickoffs, 2 each year.
Right, they did.
You can't beat anybody fumbling kickoffs.
Right, but he has his quarterbacks. Peyton Thorne got worse under him. Jackson Arnold was bad last year, but he didn't have any receivers or linemen. But he's getting worse as the year goes under him. So I mean, I hope he never leaves Auburn. I hope he wins about 8 games a year, maybe 9 every now and then, and they keep him because he's never going to be a big winner. I believe that. I mean, I've watched him. You just watch him. He is weak-minded and he complains, and he will throw a player under the bus. He threw the defense under the bus yesterday, didn't he, Steve? Talking about there was 11 missed assignments on that last drive.
Yeah. The drive right before halftime I know exactly what you're referencing, Jerry.
Right. But hell, they were worn out. Auburn had 30 yards in the second half. I mean, they were on the field the whole second half.
Yeah.
So I mean, at some point you got to look in the mirror and say, hey,
drive when Georgia had the ball with a chance to tie it, Auburn's defense bowed up, and that thing was a 3 and out. And I thought, okay, here comes the Auburn offense. But it was the adjustments Kirby made defensively.
Well, they were running the same plays.
Well, that too.
I mean, the first series, the first 2 series, just the first half flipped.
Yeah.
And instead of running to the left, they ran to the right.
Yeah.
And they didn't get a first down.
And if we can see that, I mean,
if I can see that, just casually watching the game.
I'm not trying to downplay you. I'm just saying, certainly a coaching staff, SEC caliber, who's got a couple of national championships, knows how to scheme up against that.
Exactly. I'm seeing it on TV in my living room, like Wes is saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very, very bad. And like I say, the quarterback, and penalties, they're so undisciplined on most of the penalties are offense. I mean, the offense is just horrible for Auburn. I just hope they don't get it together in the last game of the year.
Well,
the defense is going to keep them in the
defense. Defense is playing
really,
really well.
The other deal was penalties, and 11 penalties.
Well, I mean, I thought the roughing the passer was an awful call. I thought the 2 awful calls.
You thought the roughing the passer was an awful call?
Awful. Yes, 100%.
I thought it was a good call.
Not the targeted one. Not the targeted one.
Oh, that's where I thought you were going.
No,
okay,
not the targeted. That was targeted.
Okay.
I'm talking about the one after that, where the guy's throwing the ball. He has the ball at the same time the kid has him.
Oh, yeah.
His head's down because the quarterback's pushing his head down.
That was bad.
And then he tackled, and that was made by the head ref himself.
The white hat,
and it was awful. That and what's it? Blindside block.
The blindside
the running
block.
back.
That was comical. That was comical.
Yeah, that's awful.
Let me ask this, and I'll let you guys go so somebody else can talk. Was that not the same crew that called the Bama game in Knoxville?
Yes,
and the same crew that did the Georgia-Texas game last year too.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a reoccurring theme with that crew.
Listen, I get excited when I see that guy on like the game before Alabama's game. I really did. When they did the Ole Miss LSU game, and remember Lane Kiffin talked about all the penalties, even though they won. They're horrible. I mean, they're horrible.
They are horrible.
I've been talking about him for 3 years.
Yes, you have.
I mean, when I see him, I go, "Oh God!" Well, I mean, I bet half of our losses he's been the official. I'm
going to look that up. I will look that up.
Look it up. They're horrible. I'll let you guys go, man. Have a good evening.
Did you see the quotes attributed to John Cohen yesterday from AL.com? Who wrote this? Let me see if I can't. Peter. Peter. I'm not even going to try that last name.
First of all, I don't look at AL.com.
It was asked whether or not Auburn was looking to make a coaching change, and John Cohen is quoted by saying, not my expectation at this point. I don't know if I'm going to walk outside and my car is going to start or not. I think it is. I have an expectation it will. But if my car doesn't start enough, then we evaluate and make a decision about my car. That's not my expectation at this point about our football program, end quote.
Uh-huh.
What do you?
No, a while back, I worked with as a manager, and my manager, we had a thing says, I can't, if somebody calls for a reference, I can't give a bad reference, but I can talk about the weather, and boy, the weather's stormy around here.
Yeah.
So I think he's not talking about him, but he's talking about his car. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like that car needs to start in the next couple of games.
Sounds like he needs to beat on the starter a couple of times.
To me, I think Hugh Freeze has got the ship turned into the wind.
You do?
Yeah. But
what makes you say that?
Well, because they have better players than they did last year. They're in the games. They're not losing the games. They shouldn't. They've gotten beat by 3 good football teams.
They have.
So it's not like these, and they've been in the game, haven't been embarrassed like they were last year.
Is Auburn better than they were last year? Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think it's even close. Defensively, he's done a magical job. Now, I mean, the thing about DJ Durkin, of course, he had that stuff that went on when he was the head coach.
That's Maryland.
When that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of that was kind of bull. It was not handled right, obviously. But still,
yeah,
he took the heat for that, and really, basically, a guy was doing conditioning work and fell out dead, and they blamed the head coach, that's kind of stupid. So, anyway, unfortunately, that kind of stuff happens.
So you think that back to Hugh?
Yeah, I think he's doing a better job. I really do. I think that.
So this noise around.
Well, I'm not saying there's not noise. There's going to be noise because they've.
No, I'm
if
saying
they go out here and lay an egg against Missouri,
you said it. I think Missouri's.
I think Missouri's really
a
good.
more physical team than Georgia.
Yeah,
especially defensively.
Auburn. I said it after the Oklahoma game, and they're still talking about it. They're still obsessed with the Oklahoma game. Forget the fact that they got the ball and could have won.
Yeah,
and ended up going backwards and getting a safety.
Well,
so I mean, they've had chances to win all these games at times, right? I mean, they were ahead at halftime. It was 10-3 at the end of the half.
That's right.
So
and Hughes said to me after the game, should have been 21. And I don't think he's completely wrong that they should have scored more in the first half, but you had the lead.
Yeah, well, don't fumble the snap. I mean, he was bobbling the ball right when he went over the goal line. I mean, don't fumble the ball.
Yeah.
Hold on to the ball. Then they can't take it away from. Then it's not a close call. I mean, get more than 40 yards in the second half. That's pathetic. I mean, what people are looking at are, there's some bad calls, but that crew's going to have bad calls on both sides, and they did.
Yeah.
So, and what Kirby did, I've said what I would have done with that, and maybe they watched that. There is a video of the guy of the safety clapping.
Yes,
there is a video of the safety clapping. And he runs out, but he does look like he's calling timeout. And maybe Kirby was just.
I still like the Texas reporter.
What
I just think the Texas reporter just kind of sums up how so many people feel.
Cheating.
Hey, Steve, why is Kentucky a dangerous opponent? And do you talk to your guys about how close these games were last week? Tennessee 34-31. Auburn is tied with Georgia until Kirby cheats. He cheated. I'm sorry, guys. He cheated. How much do you delve into that, how close these games are?
They're all.
Timeout looks like he cheated.
I agree. But if you watch it, maybe it was just because Kirby's excited, the guy's clapping. If you watch the big, like we did, the big view of it, you can see the Auburn safety clapping.
Oh,
but I don't think he's clapping trying to be.
No, he was not trying.
But he was trying to get somebody's attention.
Yes,
and he was clapping, but you're not allowed to do that.
Yep.
And then he's saying that to the ref, hey, he's
because
clapping,
it is really noisy.
But he's doing this.
Yeah.
He is calling a
timeout.
So in his mind, during all that
he
pressure,
is mouthing, they're clapping, they're clapping. But he is
doing this.
Yeah.
He look like he's calling a timeout.
Yeah.
And maybe in his mind, he was thinking, hey, I'm about to call a timeout. Hey, they're clapping. And he got his hands confused. Anyway, that's the only reason that I wouldn't have suspended him. Because it looks like he's calling timeout.
Worried about Ole Miss.
The officials should be suspended for that reason because just bottom line.
Coach is on the playing field.
He's on the playing field. It's a delay of game penalty, and it should have been
minimum
delay of game.
Worried about Ole Miss.
Brandon is next. How are you, Brandon?
Well, I was clapping and confused in my hands last night when they brought all that food out at Carrabba's because it was so good.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Carrabba's
brought me Wes's bowl.
Carrabba's was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's worth the drive and it's worth the money. You can't go wrong with it. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
It was good to see you last night.
It was good to see y'all. And y'all were talking about John Cohen in his car.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to me like he's driving chitty chitty bang bang right now. If he's hoping it's going to start to that degree. I mean, either say win and get out or lose and get whatever, but you don't need to talk like that. Be a man. Say what you want to say.
I
don't know how the question was worded to him.
So I think what he did is a political answer. He's in a tough spot. He doesn't, they don't have the money to buy out Hugh Freeze. He'd have to get the money. And I think he sees what I do. He's a pretty smart dude that, they're close to being, they're a lot better than they were last year. They just can't, but to me, you buy quarterbacks now. That's what you do. You go and buy a quarterback. Agreed. And to me, they've
missed.
They're 0 for 2.
Yeah.
But people get better, and these guys are kids. I mean, they're getting paid a lot of money, but they're still kids, and they do get better. And I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a light might go off in his head. It went off, and I saw it when it went off, and I said so. In a game that didn't really matter, but it did matter for our quarterback to get his confidence back and to look downfield when he's scrambling. And since then, he's been unbelievable. He's been a different quarterback. A lot of people think he's the best in the country. I don't know if he's the best in the country, but he's pretty damn good. He's been playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen. I mean,
yeah. Although
could.
there was a wide open throw in the second half, I want to say late third quarter, and threw it at his feet.
Yeah, he doesn't. Again, we saw Ty play 2 years ago against USF, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is.
But this kid isn't a sophomore.
No, he is. Well, yeah, he's a sophomore.
Is he a sophomore?
Yeah,
I thought he was a junior.
He might be a junior, but he's still he's. I'm just saying that the light can go off for him too. I've seen the light go off for many people. Sometimes it never goes off. Sometimes it comes on for a minute and goes right back off.
Listed as a junior on Auburn's depth chart is Jackson Arnold.
Yeah. Is he redshirted, does it say?
No. Wait, it doesn't have an R next to junior.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
Wes, when you're watching the game and you see our big left tackle getting the ball, does your light go off and think, well, that could have been me back in my day?
Well, I played fullback in middle school and
did you?
And freshman, yeah.
I'm sure you had a blast with that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Maybe not as much as
There's
Connor
a reason
did.
I played center. No, I didn't wait. What's so cool about him? He's 6'7" and weighs 366, and he's lost weight. I mean, he's in shape.
Yeah.
It's just fun to see him out there. I think he shouldn't have jumped. He should have just bowled his head and fell in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how much can you practice him, right? I mean, think about it. But, yeah, I enjoy I can't wait to see him throw a pass.
So that's what we're going to see next. We're going to see.
I hope so. I'm not saying I have no idea. They did practice that play.
How about a speed sweep? A little Lane Kiffin jet sweep.
Yeah. When I was at practice, the practice I went to, they ran that play at practice, and he dropped the ball. And I talked to him. I met him at media days, and then he came up to me. And we talked right after practice. I said, "I guess that's out the window." He says, "Yeah, I just better at blocking anyway." And so, but they put it back in before the Georgia game, and he made an incredible catch.
He
That's
did.
what they said.
Yeah.
And so they, they're having fun with it. Team's having fun. That's what's fun to watch is when a team is having fun, winning, and playing well together. Not perfect, but well. And I just think that Auburn's not so far away. I played on a team that was bad. I mean, we had a bad record. We were ahead at every game at halftime, though. But it takes two halves of football. And a lot of that's mental, right? I mean, how do they dominate the first half and play so bad the second half? Right?
Lack of adjustment?
Well, I don't think it has to do with that. I think it was
adjusting to the defense that you're playing.
Well, no, but I think Auburn just got whipped the second half. Their offensive line just got whipped. Georgia, the second half, played on their side of the ball.
Yeah.
And that's mental. Because if you can do it the first half, you do it the second half. Maybe you got to turn it up a notch to do it.
But maybe if I'm in charge of said offense, would you not want to change up rather than, well, we did it to the left last half, let's do it to the right this half.
But in the end, it comes down to blocking and tackling.
It does. It does.
In the end.
Yeah.
So, to me, they're not so far. They got to learn to play four quarters. They got to stay on side and quit the penalties. Listen, you got 17 sacks in 2 games and you want to blame the refs? Think about that for a minute. 17 sacks in 2 of their losses.
Yeah. And even that, 4th and 1 play at Texas A&M, when the game was still in question, sack, end of game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think that they got to clean that stuff up. And if they clean that stuff up, not worry about the officials. Because that puts doubt in their mind. So they're thinking everybody's wanting to blame the officials. And I get it. There's some bad calls. With that crew, you're going to get bad calls.
Yep.
End of story. Every game they do, there's bad calls.
So there was, when Georgia called a timeout halfway through the third quarter, I don't know how widely it was reported, but I'll tell you, there was at least 4 officials around Kirby Smart, and it looked as if Kirby was telling each official how to do their job. And that's how I interpreted it.
I don't know. he wasn't explaining what a timeout is?
No, it was not.
Well, he was hard. Ken, come here, like they were friends or something. I heard it,
Yeah. All right, Brandon.
Checks in the mail. Roll Tide.
Let's take our first time out. Your phone call is obviously the feature here in hour number 2. We got more folks on the line. Lee, we'll get right to you on the other side. 256-576-4977.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Exceptional outcomes start with exceptional therapists, and that's what you'll find at Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapy. With 7 convenient locations across North Alabama, Johnson & Hayes offers expert care close to home. Our experienced clinicians specialize in everything from orthopedic and neurological rehab to TMJ, pelvic health, and lymphedema therapy. Johnson & Hayes is trusted by physicians and by patients across the region. Visit johnsonandhayes.com and see why outcomes matter at Johnson & Hayes.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. The Lion's Secret.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
I played a couple of comments from Steve Sarkisian. By the way, Texas on the road at Kentucky this week. He was asked this question as well.
Coach, it's a precarious time to be a head football coach. Do you have any comment on what's going around the country? UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, now Penn State firing their coaches early? Is this about money, or are regents and administrators being less patient now with college football coaches?
I'll let you hear exactly what Sark had to say on that after we hear from Lee, who held through the break. How are you, Lee?
Steve Moulton, as I live and breathe.
How you doing, Lee?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing well.
Okay, this may be because I just started listening a few minutes ago. Just got in the car, and y'all may have already talked about this. And I know it's kind of off the beat path to talk about baseball during Tennessee week, but explain to me that double play last night.
Okay, so you're talking about the Brewers-Dodgers game where the center fielder deflects the ball back into his glove. So it's a catch. So
it is a catch.
So that was the first mistake made by the play-by-play guy. He said caught it. It wasn't a catch because it deflected off of the wall. So he deflected it off of that the yellow line. So I asked Frenchie about it and just said it's a very obscure rule. Threw home the player, so the bases were loaded, Wes. And so player tagged, then went back and re-tagged at third, thinking that it was a grand slam. It was not a grand slam. He gets thrown out at home. The player at second does not advance to third, stays at second, but advanced to third during the play. So he didn't retouch the bag to go back to second. That's why he was still a live player, and that's why when the catcher walks to third base or runs to third base, that's your double play, and that's how that inning ended.
Because I just saw it. I just saw it a couple of times on YouTube, and I didn't really get a chance to look at it closely. It looked, quite honestly, the base running looked like what you would expect from a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Yeah, no, it was it was just because they didn't know, because you still your third base coach and your first base coach that they need to communicate that a little, but it's such an obscure deal. I mean, that was all of that happened, and still the Dodgers win.
Yeah. I mean, they should have lost just right there, but it seems like the runner at third, all he's got to do is just tag. Regardless of what happens, he just tags.
Yeah, that's
the runner at second goes halfway, just tag.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure that out. They kept saying he got forced out at the plate.
Yeah.
Because at first I didn't realize it was a catch. It was not a catch.
It was not a catch.
Why are they calling this guy out?
In theory, they could have gone triple play there, because even the runner from first did not move as well. So,
for crying out loud. Okay. All right.
Does that clear it up?
It's clear as mud.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have you guys got your picks for Saturday yet? Have y'all thought about it? Or
what do you think about Alabama, Tennessee?
Well, I don't think Alabama's secondary has really been stressed. I mean, Stockton's not really going to, sling it around.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not Missouri. Certainly not Pavia. Castellanos didn't throw it around all over the place. This is the first time Alabama's really seen somebody going to step back there and just, swing at 50, 60 yards repeatedly. And I just worry about Damani Jackson, to be quite honest with you, Steve. I have seen nothing from that kid that makes me think he's up to the task. I mean, when he's losing PT to a true freshman, that's concerning.
Wes? No, I mean, he has not played well this year.
Oh, he's played very inconsistent. I think the freshman's played very well, though. He got beat one time this year against Florida State, other than on the first pass that he was in there. Other than that, he's played awesome. He played good against Saturday. I think, just like everything else, Alabama has adjusted very well in the second half to everyone. And we'll see how they do Saturday. I think Alabama's going to outscore Tennessee. I'm not.
I
can't say I'm not worried about the game, but it's nothing I can do. I feel very comfortable in the way Alabama's playing right now.
Yeah,
and it's a home game at night in Tuscaloosa. They haven't won that there since 2000.
What'd you say? 15%?
Yeah, 15%.
That worked out all right for Georgia last week, but that was last week.
Yes.
So, and real quick, Steve, how do you see Auburn rebounding?
Well, basketball season is right around the corner.
Very funny.
This may be unfair. It really may, but the longer that I get to cover Hugh Freeze, the more I pivot back to how he was portrayed in The Blind Side. It never said Hugh Freeze in The Blind Side, but we all know that was Hugh Freeze as the head coach in The Blind Side. And real or not, I don't know why that's just stuck in my head. It's stuck in my head. But I did think Auburn would be, even in the harder part of their SEC schedule, I thought they would have won at least one of those first three games. I really did.
Yeah, but that's a gauntlet, though.
I don't know how many teams could go through at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, home against Georgia. Now you get Missouri. So and Missouri coming off of an L, and they still have everything in front of them with just one loss. So
what's the line on that game?
What do you think? I'll look it up, but what do you think the line should be in that game?
I would say close to pick 'em.
Opened up as Auburn as a 1.5 favorite. It is now Missouri a 1.5 favorite.
So some action on Missouri.
Yes.
Yeah.
With also the news that Damari Alston is no longer on the team.
So basically they got one healthy back that's played.
That's right.
Well, if he wasn't going to play very much, then
played quite a bit Saturday.
Yeah, he started. He was a guy that I thought was their best running back.
Yeah.
Now, 23 has gotten better.
Cobb
has played very well, but he's not 100% either.
No, he's not.
So, I mean, you're talking about,
you're doing this by committee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to come up with, it's a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, their running back situation is almost.
If Cobb gets hurt, that's
a problem.
And he's not 100%. I don't think now.
No.
Yeah, their running back situation, Steve, is almost as precarious as Westminster Christians right now.
All right, voice of the Wildcats.
I got to tell you, bless her heart, they're just trying to scrambling to try to find somebody.
And you got a tough one this week. It is at North Jackson. And I can tell you that is a tough place up there.
Yeah, that one, it will be. I'll tell you, if they can look respectable, they were respectable. I know the score doesn't look like it, but the wheels just kind of fell off early in the second half last week.
Don't say a word about whether or not they own a lawnmower up there, please. They're good folks up there. I made a snide remark, twice. And
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna lead with that.
Yeah. No,
you will meet the guy who cuts the grass.
Oh yeah. No, I got there early enough where they saw what I was wearing. Steve, got ourselves a lawnmower. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's brutal. All right, man. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Of course, you can hear Lee Reynolds there on the Wildcat Zone on that game that I was just mentioning coming Friday night with Westminster Christian at North Jackson. All right, coaches getting fired left and right. Here's what Steve Sarkisian had to say on that subject.
Coach, it's a precarious time to be a head football coach. Do you have any comment on what's going around the country? UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, now Penn State firing their coaches early. Is this about money or regents and administrators?
So is this – they're paying coaches $50 million to walk away and there's a coaching issue, right? I mean, come on. They started firing coaches early this year. so they could keep their players. And now that's kind of turned on them. And that's why I think that, the biggest fear that the administration had with that is that the coach at
Penn State James Franklin
would end up winning 2 or 3 big games, and they'd have to
keep him.
They'd have to keep him
after being 20+ point favorites back-to-back games over UCLA and Northwestern.
They thought now was the time, because they're doing, like I said yesterday, a $700 million, not expansion, but redo of the stadium.
And James Franklin was always one of those coaches who was never in like the top 5 list, but was always, at least in the back of my mind, of he won at Vanderbilt.
The worst thing that happened to him was being preseason number 1 in some polls.
Well, no, come on now. Let's be real. It's well documented. I mean, I don't know. I should have this audio clip ready to fire right now. The preseason pick this year, I think we mentioned it. Colin Cowherd said Texas versus Penn State. And I said, Penn State, I don't know what to tell you. I warned people. We warned people here. It was not going to look good for Penn State this year.
Texas.
Or Texas. Boy, that streak is still running awfully good, isn't it?
He's good.
He is really good.
You need to
and not picking the winners.
Oh, he's gone back and forth on Alabama 2 or 3 times this year. Now I'm scared to death. He's back on Alabama again.
Let's take our final time out.
If you ever wonder, it's always been my dream for someone to give me a big pile of money and make me go away.
Yeah.
So anytime you want to, just go right ahead.
So Jerry Glanville, happy birthday to you, sir.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than 0 down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $499 a month. A new F-150 for less than $500 a month. Or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $399 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $499 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $399 a month. And remember, these leases are 0 down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. These are 36-month leases with 0 down, just your first payment due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. Offer ends October 31st. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know, the holiday season is just around the corner. So come to Owen Home Appliance Center and get the complete Frigidaire kitchen. You buy the fridge, the range, and the microwave, and you get a dishwasher free. Or maybe you need a commercial kitchen for that huge family coming in for the holiday season. Let them help you with brands like Viking, Mealy, KitchenAid, Z-Line, and Cafe. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. That's what Owen Home Appliance Center stands for. Just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Firehawk Aerospace is a non-traditional defense contractor advancing the state of propulsion to strengthen the U.S. Defense Initiative. Founded in 2019, Firehawk Aerospace established early leadership in manufactured propulsion with the development of 3D printed hybrid rocket fuel grains. Visit firehawkaerospace.com to learn more. That's firehawkaerospace.com.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperature climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s, dropping into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight. Fantastic weather once again for your Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures climbing into the low 80s and then dropping into the mid 50s overnight. We're going to repeat this as we head into your Thursday. Next opportunity for rain moves in Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right. What was that? You asked for it, you got it. That was an old ad campaign back in the 80s. You asked for it.
Toyota.
You got it.
Well, I have them in the national championship. Michigan, Ohio State, and I think Penn State faces Texas for a natty. I've said that multiple times on the air.
Ooh. That was a
kiss of death.
That was him leading into an interview with James Franklin 2 months ago. Had Colin on a good bit when I had a talk show in Decatur, and Colin decided not to come on anymore because Alabama hired some guy named Nick Saban, of which he said on his program, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway. I'm not saying that Colin's not very talented. He is very talented. Sometimes fun to listen to.
Yeah.
But his predictions, I really hope he's not basing some of his salary on his predictions.
Oh.
Here's what Steve Sarkisian had to say on coaches getting fired this time of year.
And we all understand that. We all know what we sign up for. The biggest thing I think about when I see coaches getting fired during the season, I think about the players, because they signed up to play for a coach, and they, it's kind of like, well, are you doing that because you think we can be better now, or are you doing that because you're thinking about next year? And so where are we and all that? So that's the first thing I think about. The second thing I think about, it's like, I'll use Penn State as an example, and I got a ton of respect for James Franklin. He's a great coach, and he's going to land somewhere, and they'll be good again wherever he goes. A year ago, they're a Final Four team, and they're in a dogfight to go play for a national championship. 3 weeks ago, 15 days ago, they're a play away from being a top 2 team, arguably the number 1 team in the country, and today he's no longer the head coach. So that should just tell you about the business that we're in and understanding the business aspect of it. I hate it for him. I hate it for those players. But that's just the reality of the situation that we're in right now. But he's a good coach. Somebody's going to hire that guy. He's won everywhere he's been, so he'll be okay.
That is Steve Sarkisian on the business of being a head football coach right now in the Southeastern. Well,
anywhere, anytime.
The Big Ten, the SEC.
It's been like this forever.
Yeah.
They've been down. They've been talking. I have a lot of Penn State friends.
Mm-hmm.
None of them liked. They thought he always underachieved.
What, he was there 12 years or 11 and change? Yeah, I guess he didn't make it through the 12th. But
and they always said that he underachieved, and
He owned it after the Oregon game. He was just, it is what it is. But for every fan base or whoever of just that pulls that trigger, at least what goes through my mind is schools like Tennessee, where I think they finally got the right guy. I do. I think they find, not to say that I thought Lane, had he stayed there and not gone to USC, he could have been the guy.
Well, yeah, but he that was his dream job.
But just be careful what you wish for. Is my point.
That's always the truth.
Of winning is difficult, but the next guy they bring in, maybe the next Kirby Smart or the next hot coach for a minute, so it could work out. But I immediately think about Tennessee and how many years it has been since their last trip to Atlanta was with Fulmer. So, I mean, to play for an SEC championship game, not a Chick-fil-A kickoff game, all right? There is rampant speculation. We've had one SEC coach go in Sam Pittman, and not much noise around Billy Napier, even though Florida didn't look all that great against Texas A&M and Hugh Freeze. And they've got Missouri this week. Missouri is still playing for quite a bit. They're still in the playoff hunt. Don't look at me that way. They're still playing for a playoff. Not you. I'm just saying the words Missouri. Heck, you can say the same thing about Vanderbilt right now. Vanderbilt's still in the playoff hunt.
One of those teams will be out of the playoff hunt come Saturday.
Vanderbilt or Missouri?
No, I'm talking about Vanderbilt or LSU.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not going through the rest of their season without a loss.
Talk to you tomorrow from Sea Salt.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
That's keyword game time.
With Eckrich, the official smoked sausage and deli meat of the college football playoff, it's super easy to score big flavor, even when you have no time between the laundry, your laundry list of responsibilities, and kickoff. You're still ready to go with perfectly seasoned smoked sausage you heat up and eat up. Whether it's Grandpa's famous chili dogs or your famous almost forgot the potluck deli sliders, Eckrich makes every game day taste and